Good evening and welcome. I am Amarachi Ubani. Tonight, President Muhammadu Buhari arrives in Morocco for a two-day working visit to King Mohammed VI on matters relating to the socio-economic matters of both countries. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana throws his weight behind the president's conferment of the highest honor in Nigeria on late MKO Abiola, but charges the Buhari administration on human rights. One person dies and two others are wounded from an IED explosion in Mubi, Adamawa State. And U.S. President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un arrive in Singapore ahead of their historic meeting on Tuesday. We begin tonight with President Muhammadu Buhari's visit to Morocco for a two-day working visit at the instance of King Mohammed VI, who also visited Nigeria in 2016. The president left Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, at about 1:55 p.m. today, accompanied by the governor of Ebonyi State, David Umahi, and that of Jigawa State, Abubakar Badaru, among other senior government officials. He will be meeting with King Mohammed to discuss socio-economic matters affecting both countries. The talks are also expected to focus on strengthening existing agreements in education, agriculture, as well as oil and gas. Meanwhile, more reactions have continued to trail the pronouncement of President Muhammadu Buhari over June 12, 1993 presidential election and the conferment of national honors on the late MKO Abiola, late Chief Gani Fawemi and Babagana Kingwe. As senior advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Femi Falana has praised the Buhari government for the initiative, but asked that the government respects the rule of law as a sign of total acceptance of the struggles of Nigerians for democracy. The human rights lawyer was guest in our political program, Sunday Politics.
I endorse the conferment of the awards on Chief MKO Abiola. I also endorse that of Chief Gani Fawemi. I endorse the declaration of the holiday, June 12, as a holiday. I will ever want to go further by having a list, by conferring honors on all those who suffered indignities, who suffered injustice as a result of the annulment. Mind you, the Abacha junta was a product of the annulment. It is not enough to honor Chief Gani Fawemi for his contribution to the validation of the mandate. The greatest tribute that can be paid to Gani Fawemi is the commitment of the government to respect human rights and rule of law.
Human rights lawyer Mr. Femi Falana. A political will and a good strategy are key components on the approach to solving Nigeria's problems, regardless of vision postulated by anyone. That's the position of former governor of Cross River State, Mr. Donald Duke, who declared his intention to contest for the office of president in the 2019 elections. Mr. Duke was speaking at the annual law dinner of the University of Nigeria, where he was guest speaker on the topic Nigeria in clear and present danger. While explaining that he is not yet sure of the political platform, Mr. Duke says it's time to make a move towards addressing issues facing the country.
I'll be putting myself forward for the presidency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I'm not going to sit back any longer and postulate. And I want each and every one of those young people there to be part of it. And that's why I urge them to go out, get your voter's card, and be part of this society. Don't be onlookers any longer. This is not a football match where you sit in the audience and cheer and grumble. Get onto the field and take part. I'm not going to sit back. I'm going to take part. You know, I say this all the time, but I mean it. If you run, you might lose. But if you don't run, you're guaranteed to lose. So I'm not going to sit back any longer. I'm going to get out in the field and try and make the impact that I think is required to change this country. There are three things I believe that we require: the vision, the will, and the strategy. The essential element is the will. I'm going to do this and I'm going to get it right.
The Kogi State Governor, Mr. Yahaya Bello, is asking the State House of Assembly to speed up the passage of some critical bills which will give room for more development. One of the focal areas highlighted by the governor is the bill on healthcare, which he says will help the state do more in provision of health solutions. He was addressing the 6th Assembly in Lokoja during his third anniversary. Governor Yahaya Bello joined top government functionaries and members of the Kogi State House of Assembly as they meet in the main chamber of the Assembly complex in commemoration of the third-year anniversary of the 6th Assembly. While reviewing the Assembly's achievements, the Speaker of the House, Matthew Kolawole, said 22 bills were initiated, 6 were attended to, while 16 are at the committee level.
We would like to extend our appreciation to both executive and judiciary for making real our dream for the state and making our responsibility accordingly possible. Today, as we celebrate, we appreciate the new look of this red chamber that has now become a symbol of our legislature.
Governor Yahaya Bello appreciated the lawmakers for their support in the last 3 years, but was quick to point out areas of development where the state is lagging behind.
Together, this administration, of which the executive, legislature, and judiciary are equal partners, have enthroned the virtues of respect for the principles of separation of powers and the autonomy of all the three arms of government.
The governor was also commended for some of his achievements in the last couple of years.
My Excellency, the people of Kogi Central Senatorial District wish to use this occasion to appeal that the arsenals used in eradicating the insecurities we experience should be reinvigorated to wipe off the remnants and other social menace of our domain.
Governor Bello asked for continuous harmony among the arms of government, urging the lawmakers to put aside selfish interest in their deliberations and seek ways to better the lot of the people. The seemingly endless face-off between the executive and legislative arms of Nigeria's government is as a result of misunderstanding about their roles. The lawmaker representing Mbaitolu Ikeduru Federal Constituency of Imo State in the House of Representatives, Honourable Henry Wanwoba, who revealed this in our special political program, Roadmap 2019, however, says there is a perception that the legislature is under siege. He told Channels Television's Ladi Akeredoluwale that both arms of government must accommodate each other for progress to be made.
I think that everybody in Nigeria is a stakeholder in this country. And I think we all have our different roles to play as we seek to deliver democracy or governance to our people. I think that it is a shame when the three arms of government will not get along or do not get along. I see no reasons why. There's absolutely nothing at stake beyond deliverance of good governance to our people. That is at the core of the reason why we are where we are today. The Constitution recognizes three arms of government. That's the way it is. And that is the law. And that's how it should be. There is a perception, whether rightly or wrongly, there is a perception. And as you know in Nigeria, perception is everything.
For the full interview with Honourable Henry Wanwoba, do watch Roadmap 2019 tomorrow, Monday, June 11th at 9 p.m. right here on Channels Television. A bridge along a major road linking the north, central and southern parts of the country has collapsed following heavy downpour. A statement from the spokeswoman of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Bisi Kazim, confirms the collapse of the bridge on the Mokwa-Jeba Road, 18 kilometers from Mokwa in Niger State. According to Mr. Kazim, the bridge collapse has affected vehicular movement on both sides of the road. Motorists traveling to Lagos in the south or Abuja in the north are therefore advised to take the Lokoja Road as an alternative in the interim. Mr. Kazim says FRSC Corps Marshal Boboye Oyeyemi has ordered immediate deployment of more personnel and logistics on the alternative route to cater for the anticipated upsurge in vehicular movements along that route. The bridge is just about 1 kilometer from Tatabu Bridge of Mokwa-Jeba Road that collapsed last year and was repaired by the federal government. One person has been killed, 2 others injured in Mubi, Adamawa State when an improvised explosive device was detonated this afternoon. According to eyewitnesses, the explosive device was detonated at about 1 p.m. by an unsuspecting teenager who was scavenging around the area. The teenager was reported to have unknowingly picked up the device alongside other materials intended for sale at the scrap market. The Adamawa State Commissioner for Information, who has confirmed the incident, describes it as unfortunate.
Going through the process and interfacing with security agents, we're able to understand that first and foremost it wasn't an attack, and it was also not a suicide attack. It was actually, a result of some scrap scavengers. Yeah, some small teenagers, young chaps who went and were scavenging for scrap, and in the process they picked up an unexploded IOD, and they took it, and then they went to the scrap market around Kabang, very close to the Union Bank, where they wanted to sell the scraps they were able to get from the refuse dumps. And we believe that that is what would have happened, and one of the chaps lost his life, and the other 2 are seriously wounded.
The River State Governor Nyesom Wike is raising an alarm over fresh plans to use a Lebanese to make statements that the governor contracted him to buy arms to prosecute the 2019 elections. According to him, he had never been involved in any plans to buy arms. The governor, who was speaking at a special Thanksgiving service today in Port Harcourt, River State, also mentioned that previous alarms he had raised were not taken seriously.
We got intelligence that the same federal government we are talking about has arranged with a Lebanese to agree that I, as the governor of River State, procured him to buy arms on behalf of the state government for us to use for elections. And that the Lebanese will agree that yes, I was the one who gave him funds to procure arms. The government will stop at nothing. But let it be known, I'm not close to any Lebanese person. Not to talk about let the person go and procure arms. I'm raising an alarm again, which they have applied with the Lebanese to say that he is procuring arms for us. I have no business to procure arms for any reason, and I have never told anybody to procure arms.
In part 2 after the break, our in-house data analyst Babajide Ogusonwo joins us to discuss the impact of oil on Nigeria's foreign trade, which currently stands in positive territory. Please stay with us.